Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where I review WWE's Money in the Bank, which was a pretty dang good show. A lot of action, a lot of surprises, which we'll get into. But first of all, sit back, relax, grab yourself a snack, maybe a drink, and let's do this. So, first things first, we go into the multi-man men's Money in the Bank ladder match, in which the object is to climb a ladder, take down the briefcase, and you win. No pinfall, no submission, with the winner receiving a guaranteed contract at a title shot whenever they like. So, participants, you have Butch of the Brawling Brutes, aka Pete Dunne, Hometown Boy, Santos Escobar of the LWO, Damian Priest of Judgment Day, Ricochet, Shinsuke Nakamura, LA Knight, yeah, and Logan Paul. To start this match, this was pretty much, let's keep Logan Paul away from the case, which everybody played, which was honestly all I could ever ask for. This match was a little iffy, though. Like, there was some stuff that was good, like, you know, Butch hitting a moonsault from up the top of a ladder. But then you got stuff like Logan Paul doing a frog splash from the apron onto a ladder bridge that was set up. Or this really scary one where Ricochet tried to hit a Spanish fly through two tables set up at ringside, and then Logan went pretty much head first through them. That was honestly really scary. But it does seem like Logan is okay, so that's good to hear. But yeah, overall this match just felt messy. LA Knight went up, he tried for the case. From the bottom of the screen you see Damian Priest goozle him by the neck. Hits a broken arrow from the top of the ladder, which that looked pretty sick. Priest goes back up, unhooks the case. So your winner, new Money in the Bank case holder, Damian Priest. Now, I will say, I understand those of you who are like, LA Knight should have won, LA Knight should have won. I'm going to say this. Like I said in my predictions video, LA Knight, if he would have won, he would have been either A, waiting 100 years for Roman Reigns to show up, and then when he does, either get attacked by Solo Sikoa or just straight up, losing the chance, in which we've seen so many failed Money in the Bank cash-in attempts that I feel like that would do more harm than good tonight. Or he does what Austin Theory did last year and cash in on the secondary title, which, no, we shouldn't be doing that again. So, Damian Priest not only has the more interesting story with the now breakup of Judgment Day, we'll get into that a little later, but now he can hold it over Finn Balor's head, and we could see them possibly feud a little bit. So, I think the right man won. The man with the most interesting story out of everyone in there won. And I'm okay with it. I'm good with it. Would I have been okay seeing LA Knight win? Of course. But overall, I think the right guy won. Next up, we got the women's tag team titles on the line as Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler take on Raquel Rodriguez and the returning Liv Morgan. And almost immediately, Rousey and Baszler go after Liv's arm. She's After a while, she's holding it close to her chest. She's not really using it. She tries for Oblivion, but then it's blocked into the Karafuda clutch, in which she breaks out of it. So we have Ronda Rousey in. It looks like she's going to finish off Liv Morgan. Then from out of nowhere, Shayna Baszler attacks Ronda Rousey from behind, puts her in the Karafuda, makes her, go to sleep. And then Raquel Rodriguez with the Tejana Bomb, Liv Morgan with Oblivion. So your winners, new women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. I am very surprised by this, that we kind of fast-tracked this face turn for Baszler, because, let's face it, she should be the baby face of this. But then also ending what should have been a little bit of a longer reign for Baszler and Rousey, because I think it was a bit too soon to have them drop these titles. Anyway, either way, congratulations, Morgan and Raquel. Let's see what you do in the coming months. We then get a Damian Priest backstage interview with the new Money in the Bank winner. Basically says, yeah, I got a lot of things to think about, including the titles that I want to cash in on. Could cash in on the United States title? No. The Intercontinental title? No. The WWE World Heavyweight title? Yes. The WWE Undisputed Universal title? Yes. So, yeah, as I said, more interesting story for Priest, and we got some teases going on. Next up, we got the Intercontinental title on the line as Matt Riddle challenges Gunther. And Gunther has been on a tear. I think he's a couple 100 days away from breaking the Honky Tonk Man's record, in which it's about time. This match was pretty much Riddle trying to fight from underneath with a foot injury, but Gunther pretty much dominating. Like, it was a nice back and forth, but overall, this was Gunther targeting the broken foot of Matt Riddle, and ultimately putting Riddle in an ankle lock for the submission victory. But before Gunther could drink in his win, out comes Drew McIntyre, returning from injury, and he's targeting the Intercontinental Champion. They go head-to-head, Glasgow Kiss, which is pretty much a headbutt, and then a big old Claymore to end the segment, with Drew McIntyre holding up the Intercontinental title. Honestly, I'm pretty hyped for this upcoming match. I know Drew pretty much failed at WrestleMania, but it's good to see Mr. McIntyre back. Next up, we got Dominic Mysterio versus Cody Rhodes, in which, it was less of a match, more guerrilla warfare from Dom, in which he goes in, strikes Cody, and then rolls out of the ring. He does that a couple times, and then Cody does something interesting. He still has his, metal cast on, but then he takes it off. And then you see that light bulb go off in Dom, and he's like, oh, I'm screwed. So he tries to run up the ramp. Cody stops him, slides him into the ring. Cody cutter, disaster kick, an Alabama slam, which we haven't seen from Cody for a while, into the Crossroads for your win by Cody Rhodes. And more interesting, no Brock Lesnar. I thought Brock would get involved either during or after this match, but no sign of Mr. Lesnar, which is a very big surprise. Actually, speaking of very big surprises, out comes John Cena. pretty much teasing WrestleMania in London, which I don't know if it's happening anytime super soon, but I would love to see that. WrestleMania in London would be cool as heck. But then out comes Grayson Waller to slow things down, pretty much saying, "Oh, look around us. London is so ugly. Should be in somewhere beautiful like Australia." You know, his home country. Then Waller pretty much says, "Hey, John, why don't you put me over? I'll invite you to WrestleMania Australia. We could do a Grayson Waller effect, and you could tell me how great I am." Cena pretty much says, "Nah." And kind of like what he did to the guy heckling him at that restaurant, which, you know, you buddy. It looks like Waller's going to attack Cena, but then Cena pretty much hits him with one AA, and yeah, that's the end of that segment. I will say, an Australian WrestleMania would be interesting. I don't know where they would have that, though, but, you know, I'm down for either or, because that'd be cool as heck. Alright, next matchup, the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match, where same stipulation as the men's, but instead of going for any men's title, we got pretty much whatever brand's women's title they go after. So, participants, we got Becky Lynch. Representing Damage Control, you got Bayley and Io Sky. You got Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark coming down together. And representing the LWO, Zelina Vega. And almost immediately, you have Stark and Trish go after Becky Lynch. Meanwhile, Sky and Bayley go after Vega. And honestly, this was a nice little matchup. There were actually more stories going into this thing than, you know, the guys. And a lot of it was a lot more crisp than what we had for the men. Including Trish Stratus just kicking the head off of Zelina Vega from the top rope. Top of a ladder. At one point, Trish Stratus and Zoe Stark try to handcuff Becky Lynch to the ropes to get her out of commission. She fights back out of that, although one of the half the cuffs is on her wrist. So that'll play in for later. At one point, you have Becky and Bayley going up top, going for the briefcase. They both kind of get taken down by Io Sky, who sees the cuffs and cuffs Lynch to Bayley through the ladder, which is brilliant. Then Io climbs over both of them and grabs the case to take it down. So, your winner, Women's Money in the Bank winner, Io Sky, in which, honestly, that was another correct choice by WWE, and it shows more tension with Io and Bayley, so we'll see what happens there. Next up, we got the World Heavyweight title on the line as Seth Rollins takes on Finn Balor. Now, overall, match was really, really good. Maybe not as good as their SummerSlam match where Finn got hurt. Sorry, Finn. But, yeah, this was great. You had Seth targeting Finn's legs at one point. You got Finn targeting Seth's arms. And then, at one point, Damian Priest rolls out with his Money in the Bank. He goes over to the commentary area, sets up a steel chair, sits down, distracts Seth for a little while. Finn Balor hits his shotgun dropkick. goes up for the coup de grace, but then Priest stands up, looks like he's going to cash in. That distracts Finn for long enough for Seth to get up, hit a big old super kick, get him down, hit a big old stomp for the victory. So your winner, still World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins. And then post-match, you see Priest and Balor face-to-face, just jawing at each other. They're ready to explode. They're ready to have at one another, which I'm in. Then we get a weird kind of interview where Owens and Zayn are in a skybox. They have the tag team titles. They successfully defended on SmackDown. Then they pretty much say, yeah, we've been looking forward to this next match for a while now, and we hope the Usos give Roman what's coming to him. Which leads into our main event of the evening. We got the Bloodline, what's left of the Bloodline, which is Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa, taking on the Usos, Jimmy and Jay. And now Jimmy and Jay started off really quick. Looks like they're going to get a little bit of a fluke victory. But then Roman comes in, takes control of the situation. Hits a couple of spears, but Jimmy kicks out. At one point, Usos hit a 1D, but that leads to a ref bump in which the ref is pretty much out. Covers, crowd counts along, gets up to like 8. Jimmy goes for an Uso splash, but it gets caught by Roman, who gets him in the guillotine. Usos try fighting back. Then Solo and Roman hit the Usos with a double Uranagi, which that looks like it hurt. Solo then rolled Jimmy to the outside of the ring, hits him, gets him up on the announce table, gets on the barricade near the announce table, goes for a big splash. Jimmy moves, so Solo goes through a table. Roman looks to make a pinfall. Jay kicks out and also hits Roman with a low blow. Mirroring what Roman did in their second meeting for the Universal title back at Night of Champions. This was maybe 2019. Bit before the Bloodline. Then Jimmy's in. A whole bunch of super kicks galore. Jimmy tags in Jay. Uso splash. 1, 2, 3. Your winners, the Usos, pinning Roman for the first time in 3 years. And honestly, it's a monumental moment. Not just because Roman was pinned, but because it was Jay, the man who started it all, against Roman. And honestly, it's poetic justice, because now we pretty much got it set up that Jay is probably going to challenge Roman for the title at SummerSlam, which, yeah, definitely, absolutely, I'm in. So, yeah, that was Money in the Bank. I quite enjoyed it. The only real downs I would give this show is, you know, the men's Money in the Bank was a little sloppy, but I still had fun with it. And then Grayson Waller, just as a whole. Like, I don't know if we needed Cena burying Grayson Waller, but whatever. It is what it is. I had fun with this show. I hope you guys did too. So, thanks for joining me. Please like, comment, subscribe. What did you think about Money in the Bank? What was your favorite match of the evening? What do you think about the Usos finally pinning Roman Reigns? Because that was absolutely insane. And also, I hope you have a very nice 4th of July. So for tonight, I'm probably not going to be watching Raw, so that means it's probably not going to get covered in the recap show later on this week. But I will cover most everything else, I'd say. Depending on, how I feel. So, yep, that'll do it for me. Until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.